Today, I want to introduce the list of top 10 things I personally like on living off-grid in Egypt. First, I want to point out that this is just my personal opinion. Let's start with point 10, living as we want. This is real general, but we do not live a classic model as it's common. We live alone, away from my village. It's in walking distance, but it's away. Between fields, on big garden, and on top of that in Egypt, which is not common living in Czech Republic. What other things make us different? Well, we live off-grid, which means we have our own electricity, we collect our own rainwater, and we have a heating system with rocket stones, so we are not connected to any network, well, except the internet. We even homeschool our daughter. She is on homeschooling from kindergarten, and we want to continue in this trend. Let's move to rocket stones. We use rocket stone for heating. It's not common to use rocket stones in Egypt, but here in Central Europe we have a few sunny days, so we want to use it. It's also a question about comfort. Of course, we could live here in 12 degrees Celsius, but we don't want that. So this is the reason why here are the rocket stoves. They are here not just for heating. We use it as a multi-purpose item. It has a big heating surface where we can lie and relax, read, play board games, homeschool here. Children are playing here. Also, we sit here. It's a part of our dining area, so they are pretty multifunctional. When our youngest boy was a baby, the rocket stove surface was something like care base for him. It was his place for playing. If you want to know more about our rocket stoves and heating in Egypt, I will put a link here. And what about number 8? It's housing costs. Our housing costs include buying a wood, firewoods for next season. Next is the internet, which we pay annual, taxes online. We are in constant process of building something, so these housing costs do not include any construction costs. There are no month taxes or rent, anything else. Our own furniture is number 7. Marcel makes every piece of furniture which we have here. He uses natural materials, so the wood. We have a wood furniture from different types of wood. It's spruce, oak, beech and walnut woods. He has his own unique design. He puts a heart in the making of the furniture, and it's of course tailor-made furniture. Homemade, so what do you want more? And it brings us to number 6, natural materials. Except of the tires, which are external wall and are building stones of the earthship, the natural materials are everywhere here. Wood, stones, clay, and hempcrete. They are everywhere where you look. From a wood category, there are beams, wooden tiles, part of the ceiling, of course columns, so you can look and you see the main element here is wood. The stones we use for the floor. The stones on the floor is basalt. Each tile of the stone is placed in clay, and we also have floor which is just the clay. It's in our master bedroom. What other places you can find clay here is clay plasters. The tires are covered with clay. We even cover the ceiling with the clay plaster. As I mentioned, the floor is with clay too, and the stones are placed on the clay. One wall in the earthship is whole from the clay bricks. Clay is even part of the rocket stones, so as you can see, it's everywhere. Let's talk about the hempcrete in our earthship. It's the filling part between the beams. We wanted to try this hempcrete and it was a nice experience. Wow, we have top 5 list here. Firstly, living alone. As I mentioned, we live alone between two villages. We have no neighbors and it has a lot of advantages. You can make noise as you want. You do not disturb anyone and anyone disturbs you. In summer, when it's a mover season, you hear no mover. Neighbors don't look into your windows. It's just you're living, and you don't have any social interactions until you want. You can't even walk naked in your garden, and don't worry about anything. We are arriving at 4 points where it was hard to pick the order. I hope I picked the right order as I wanted. Your own electricity. It's your own independent system, so you don't worry about any blackout which can occur in the network. Suddenly, the lights go off and you don't know what to do. You have to wait for anyone else to do it. This is not the case in an off-grid system. Of course, you can run out of energy in batteries, but it's just your own problem. You are responsible for your actions with the electricity. If you have a problem, you don't have to wait for anyone else to do it for you. You have to deal with it on your own, or you're screwed up. You have to learn how to handle the sun. In morning, there's sun, you go and do whatever you need to do with the electricity. Why? Because tomorrow there could be no sun and you would have low energy. In winter, there were days where we do not wash our clothes for days because there was no sun. It can happen. In winter, we do not use freezer, we do not use oven. I think this is the key point of living off-grid. It's really important to limit oneself and use only the resource you have. To limit yourself, it's the essential thing you have to learn to live off-grid. Number 3, reusing your water. Once you collect the rainwater to the tank, you shower, you use the water for the second time. It's not thrown away. It's going to the botanical cell where you have trees, plants, and they clean the water where you put your water next. To the nature, we water the plants outside with this water. Once the water is through the botanical cells out, you use it to splash the toilet. We don't have this, so the water from the botanical cells we use outside. So you have many choices here. Use the water for the third time or fourth time. Well, it's not common to reuse the water, right? We are heading to the finish line. Rainwater. What is the best about the rainwater? It's without chemicals. It's right from the nature. It just drops from the sky. It tastes good. Rainwater is really great for showering. It doesn't dry your skin, which is really benefit. Your skin is really smooth after the rainwater. Your hair are great for touch. Rainwater is great for your face skin. You don't need to use any other products on skin. When I went on duty to other city, I was showering there and there was a significant difference. At home, I was showering with rainwater, which was really smooth and nice, and then I showered in this city water, and it was indescribable. Every time I had to use some product for my skin because it was so dry. You are really happy when it's raining. Your tanks are filling. Quality of rainwater. Of course, it depends on quality of the air, but it's much better than the tap water. Here you collect the rainwater and the type of storing is up to you. Not the last priority, it's free. Again, there's a no here. You have to learn how to behave to this limited resource. It's not raining every day. In summer, there's time when the whole month is not raining. So we have to count with this situation. The amount of the stored water, saving the water resource. It's just not commonplace. On the other hand, you are independent. And the best thing from the whole list, glass wall and passive solar heating. This is the thing I love the most here. Glass wall is perfect for this place. The view, the light, as the whole wall is from glass, it's making the place even bigger than it is. Of course, the glass wall here is mainly for heating. And I have to say, the heating is really functional, even in our climate. In January, when the sun was shining whole day, and outside there was below 0 degrees Celsius, the whole earthship was heated up to 20 degrees Celsius, which is really amazing for January in our climate, just by the sun. It's really an ordinary element in the house, this glass wall. And it's my most favorite thing in earthship. I leave out one thing. It's the inside botanical cell. It's the element which is super. Thanks to this element, I liked the earthship and agreed to build one. But this whole botanic cell didn't really suit us. We had some problems with it, some different expectations. So we are removing the botanical cell inside and moving it outside. This is the reason why I didn't include the botanic cell in this list. Well, this would be my list for things I like on off-grid living in Egypt. I hope you liked some points and want to integrate them into your own living. Bye and see you some other list.